my squad. The main thing is the Miami Heat. What a disappointing season for the Miami Heat. Jimmy Butler and the Heat just beefing. Both of them basically calling each other liars about all the different things that they were upset about. Tyler Herro, all-star three-point champion. Bam Adebayo. Big step back offensively. I mean, my man has not been a good offensive player this year. Let's be real. They had to change his position from C to PF. Andrew Wiggins acquired in the Jimmy deal. Kel'el Ware, weird rookie year. Guy was an absolute stud in the Summer League. He win the Summer League championship on the back of Kel'el Ware. I feel like the beginning of the season, we don't see the guy, and now he's like one of the top 5 rookie of the year favorites. So really weird. I was surprised to see this, so I bothered looking it up. But Adebayo and Kel'el Ware have played 404 possessions together in real life, and they've outscored the other team while that's been happening. So for a team that right now is 25-28 as of me recording this, I would have guessed the Bam-Ware pairing wouldn't work very well, but I guess it is working, obviously, because Bam is so switchable. Teams can't really take advantage of him being a slow plotting big man on defense. Also, Kel'el Ware, A- 3-point, might be generous from 2K, but he is shooting 35%. Rozier, this guy, guys, for those of you who are not following the Miami Heat closely, they are opening an investigation on if Terry Rozier is intentionally playing bad for sports betting purposes. I saw that. I don't know if anything came about that, but that was weird. Jaime Jaquez, I feel like he just disappeared into the shadow realm. I mean, what is this team? Honestly, the one thing I'm really upset about with the Jimmy trade is it won't let me see future draft picks right now, but the Warriors draft pick that the Heat got is top 10 protected. So if this Warriors Jimmy Butler marriage doesn't work, they don't get to benefit from it failing. If there was ever a draft class where the Heat should have just said,
we will not trade you Jimmy Butler unless the pick is unprotected, or let's say top 3 protected.
We want as many dice rolls at Cooper Flag, at Edgecombe, at Bailey, at Harper that we can get, man. I'm really disappointed the way the Heat handled the Jimmy trade. For example, why did they do it the day before the trade deadline? Why not wait until 3 minutes before the trade deadline and just force the Warriors to remove protections on the pick? Look, it might not matter at all, but why not? Why not? Doesn't make sense to me. So let's just simulate the rest of this season. 25-28, who knows how the team's gonna do. I don't think this team needs the craziest of overhauls. I do feel like we need a new 1A star. I like Tyler Herro a lot. I think he's a good off-the-ball player, a good off-the-ball scorer, a great spacer, but the issue is I don't think Herro is a good enough playmaker or a high enough level of a playmaker to be the main offensive engine of a team. I do think he's better suited in that secondary role, so that's where we're gonna focus our efforts. Jokic, 28 a game, MVP, no surprise there. Sorry, Rookie of the Year. Sorry, Kel'el Ware. No surprise, we're not on the NBA. We actually finished as the 10 seed, and of course we beat them. I didn't want to make the playoffs. The Warriors also made the playoffs, which means our draft capital is not going to be great. Let's just simulate, and we're out in round 1. No surprise there. This team is not ready to beat a team like Cleveland, and the Knicks are the champions. So offseason begins, off to a rough start. Team legend LeBron James is retiring. It's Kyle Lowry, not a team legend, but he's retiring. Heat man at one point. So another reason why the Heat really needed to not make the playoffs, which we did, was the Thunder own our pick. So we only have the 20th pick via the Golden State Warriors. I really want to move up higher in the draft. That is our goal. Of all of the teams at the top of this draft, the only one I think that might be willing to move, they're at number 2. It's gonna be a hard pick to get. All right, NBA draft, here we go. Cooper Flag goes number 1, Harper 2. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna trade us. Bailey goes there. So when I rebuilt the team earlier in the year, I actually did a Jimmy trade rebuild, and we ended up getting Ace Bailey in the draft. Not the case today. All right, we're gonna be taking LeBron Filon, a new LeBron James, coming here from the University of Alabama. LeBron is a 71 overall, so he's not going to be playing for us a lot this year, but I do feel like we need a proper point guard. I don't want to play Tyler Herro at the point guard. Bringing back Jaime Jaquez, bringing back Nikola Jovic. Only guy we really, I feel like, need to re-sign here is going to be Davion Mitchell, who the Heat traded for. Very Miami Heat-esque player, I feel like. But 75 overall, man, I don't want to give him a bag, to be honest. Like, not dying to give a 75 overall 26-year-old a bag, so he might just have to take my qualifying offer. I am going to try to sign Kayvon Looney in free agency, a little 2-year deal at $4.5 million a year. We got Looney to come through to play backup big for us. We are going to need a backup big. Davion Mitchell comes back on the qualifier. Team's looking rough this offseason. Not getting that good draft pick there was bad for us. So I'm going to trade Rozier and Jaquez to the Lakers. Now, I don't think the Lakers would ever want to trade Austin Reeves, but in a world where their team is really expensive, Reeves declines this player option and all of a sudden takes up a ton of the salary cap, it becomes a lot harder to build a team around Luka than having signing Jaime Jaquez for $6 million next year. And Jaquez is a good player. And I also get Gabe Vincent back. So I feel like for a long-term team building for the Lakers, maybe more of a salary cap move, getting ahead of that. We have our first round pick next year. We don't even have it in 2027. So I mean, pick-wise, we're not in a great spot. Trying to see if there's some way I can turn Andrew Wiggins into something better. But I don't know. It might be tough. The upcoming free agency class, pretty stacked. We got Luka Doncic, Kevin Durant, and honestly, I'm going to have a good amount of cap space unless Reeves eats it all up. If Reeves takes that player option, I'm golden. Otherwise, I'm in a tough spot. But Wiggins, we're going to definitely not take that team option. I don't want to trade Bam, but his contract is fat at $51 million next year. It might be wise of us to get ahead of that Bam contract, but I'm kind of curious how the team's going to do this first year. So we've got Austin Reeves, Tyler Herro, Andrew Wiggins, Adebayo, Khalil Ware. I like the defense of this front court with Wiggins, Adebayo, and Ware. I think we got some nice defense. I feel like on the perimeter, like I like Austin Reeves. I like Tyler Herro. I think Reeves is a good playmaker, good scorer, better table setter than Herro, but I feel like neither of them are the most dynamic, super athlete kind of guys that I want at least one of my guards to be. Also, the perimeter defense is going to be a little shaky out here with these two. But overall, I think this is a pretty solid starting lineup. And then on the bench, we got Davion Mitchell, Nikola Jovic, Haywood Highsmith, and Kayvon Looney. Honestly, not a bad bench either. I feel like we got a lot of competency. Nikola Jovic, sneaky part of this rebuild. Man is 22. He's young. So I kind of want to start him just to get him more PT, but we'll keep him on the bench right now. Let's go to the end of January and see how the team does. I'm not expecting too much, but I do think we should be a 6, 7, maybe 5 seed, honestly. I think we got a nice combo of guys. Right now, we're 6 and 7, so better than last year, but not very good. So I'm getting trade offers for Bam just about every week. The market for Bam is hot. Something I'm definitely going to be looking into. We're here on January 1st, 13 and 17. The Bam trade market is getting hot. I kind of want to be a part of it, but it's got to be for good players, man, because I need more than that. Scrolling through trades, there's nothing I love. There's one that I would obviously love to take, which is this Scotty Barnes for Bam Adebayo and an unprotected first. Definitely a transformative trade for the teams. I mean, giving them the unprotected first, okay. Our trajectory right now is not great. That pick has a lot of value. Bam Adebayo, I mean, this will hurt our defense and make our offense better, I would guess. Raptors now have more pieces with Ingram and RJ Barrett, so maybe they feel like they don't need Barnes, because I guess Adebayo does fit better with those. So we now have our centerpiece, because I feel like Barnes can be my offensive centerpiece around this team. Wiggins, Barnes, Khalil Ware, I don't know. This team's still kind of weird. Davion Mitchell, we don't have. He's going to be an unrestricted free agent after this year, and he's not eligible for an extension. We're going to reshuffle the lineup. We're going to go Davion Mitchell as the starter, Herro at the 2, Wiggins at the 3, Barnes at the 4, Ware at the 5, Austin Reeves as my 6th man with Looney and Highsmith, solely just because Mitchell's got that A+ perimeter defense, but I still feel like we need the offensive creation that, you know, Reeves gives us, but I almost feel like Reeves and Herro are both too good to be 6 men. Kind of want to exchange Wiggins for more like a proper 4, because I want to play Scotty Barnes at the 3. So I'm going to trade Andrew Wiggins for Taylor Hendricks. Now this is a little scary. Hendricks, let's look at this contract, man. Nothing. We're going to have to re-sign him, and I don't want to pay him too much. So now my lineup is Davion Mitchell, Tyler Herro, Scotty Barnes, Taylor Hendricks, Khalil Ware. We got Austin Reeves, Kayvon Looney, Nikola Jovic, and Haywood Highsmith off the bench. I like our bench a lot. Starting lineup, it's a bit funky. It is a bit funky, honestly. Let's go to the day before the trade deadline and see what happens. All right, so since we made that trade, we've been a mixed bag. Lost a bunch, won a bunch, 21 and 28. At the deadline, I'm going to look to move Kyle Anderson so I can get an expiring contract instead. There is this Atlanta Hawks, Georges Niang expiring salary. We're going to take that. Quick little move at the deadline there to open up some cap space. So I really was hoping to be a player in free agency, but we have just so many guys I need to re-sign. Davion Mitchell, Hendricks, Highsmith, Jovic. But I mean, we're not winning. So how important are some of these guys? It might be a situation where I don't even re-sign some of them and I go into free agency looking to make some splashes, because I can't even re-sign anybody worth it right now. So to the end of the season we go. Make the playoffs, miss the playoffs, whatever happens, I think we'll be fine. We were never going to compete this year anyway. Wemby, MVP. Harper, Rookie of the Year. We tried to move up to that number 2 pick to draft Harper, but it is what it is. Herro with Clutch Player of the Year. We'll take that. And we are a play-in team once again, and we lose to the Celtics in the second play-in game, so we are not in the playoffs. Honestly, gives us a lottery shot, which I like. Mavericks win the chip over the Celtics. And we have the 11th pick in the draft. The Thunder have 1, 2, and 6 in the draft. Oh my God. How did teams just give the Thunder everything they wanted, bro? All right, well, with the 11th pick in the draft, I'm going to opt to take a center with some good height, Harry Thomas from North Carolina. Thunder added an 80 overall 20-year-old. Oh, no. So as I thought, Reeves declined his player option, but so did Doncic and Trae Young. Qualifier out to Taylor, qualifier out to Jovic. We don't have enough to go after Doncic. Luka is getting some very lucrative offers. Lakers, I mean, I don't know how I'm going to top that Lakers offer, to be honest. Another UFA is Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, I would love to get in on the Jaren sweepstakes if we can. That does take me out of a lot of these guys, though, like Taylor Hendricks, who we traded for. This is a real tough decision. Do I bring in Jaren, have my super loaded front court with Jaren and Khalil Ware and Scotty Barnes and Tyler Herro? Not a bad start, but it'll wipe out my whole bench. I don't know if that's worth it. I mean, it's not like we were a good team last year, though. I think I need to try to re-sign Hendricks, Reeves, Mitchell, Jovic, and Highsmith. I think depth is going to be a better way to go about this rebuild. I mean, Reeves at $18 million a year is a steal. Hendricks wants a lot of money, man, but $30 million a year? Can I do 30, Hendricks? You're not worth more than that, man. So I re-signed Hendricks. I'm still waiting on Reeves. I signed Reeves. Jovic, I can low-key get on a kind of a steal of a contract. Davion Mitchell, I don't want to pay that much, man. I don't want to pay Davion Mitchell that much. We might lose Davion. Yeah, we're going to lose Mitchell. That's okay. All right, I signed Jovic. Looks like we're going to lose out on Haywood Highsmith. So that was not a great free agency for us, to be honest. I'm going to try to bring in Sam Hauser on a little 3-year deal for very little money. Got him in. We're 10 days into free agency. Kevin Durant and Jaren are both free agents still. So, I mean, mixed bag and progression. Barnes improved. Hero stays still there. Ware is still there. Hendricks got a little better. LeBron Fillon could probably start at point guard for me now. LeBron Fillon. I don't think he's French. So here in year 3, we're back to the Reeves Hero backcourt. We got Barnes, Hendricks, and Ware in the front court. Off the bench, Jovic, Fillon, Hauser, and Looney. Man, I'm not liking this way this went. We don't own our draft pick this year, so this year we can't really afford to be bad. We should start trying to be good this year. So I'm going to go to December 2nd, see what happens. We're 7-16. We are really bad. Our bench is getting annihilated every game. We're bad when Hero's out there. Hendricks and Hero are our 2 worst starters, plus-minus wise. We're bad, so I'm going to accept the youth movement. Tyler Hero for Rudy Gobert and Nolan Toye. I don't know how to say this guy's last name. I tried. So, sneaky thing about Gobert here, it looks like an expiring. It's actually got a poison pill, but we can move him. Troye's got that nice 2-year team option. Cost control is going to save us money. Even though Hero's also an expiring, I like being able to pick up the superstar young guy, so we're going to make this trade. That's going to let me start him and move Reeves to the 2. I think our bench is still going to be pretty bad, but Gobert's on it now, so maybe it should be a little bit better. Honestly, if Gobert doesn't decline too much, we could keep him as a bench big. Jovic kind of stopped progressing, which is sad, but we have him on a decent contract, so we'll see where he goes. Don't think the team will improve too much, but we're only going to simulate another month ahead and see if we can get better from 7-16, which is just not good. We went from 7-16 to 12-24. I mean, really not much different. Now, our pick is lottery protected. We have it. The Hornets got it in that Rozier trade, but it's lottery protected, so we are fine there. But we got to decide who the keepers on this team are, man. I feel like I need more from Khalil Ware. I feel like Hendricks has been very disappointing. Honestly, Scotty Barnes has not been a great driver of the train. I feel like this is a team without an identity, and that's kind of our real problem right now. What do I want the identity of this team to be? Tough. We're going to go to the day before the trade deadline, and I think we're going to make some moves. I mean, at this point, it's obvious we're a tanking team, but we're not intending to be, which is the real issue. All right, we're 15-37. This accidental tank is going great. We're the second worst team in the NBA behind the Lakers, who lost Luka, I'm guessing. Yeah, Luka signed with the Bucks, but they've got Luka and Giannis and Mikal Bridges, and they still suck. I don't understand 2K sometimes. I don't want to be on the Taylor Hendricks train anymore. I feel like we need a bigger, more physically imposing big. Problem is, I cannot find a trade that I like. I just spent the last 10 minutes looking for a trade, and I could not find one that I liked or made sense for anybody. We are going to blow this team up this offseason, big time. The only other thing I want to do is just because Scotty Barnes, like, we suck, bro. We're not going anywhere. I feel like this team is good enough where if our star player was like all that, we would be better. Problem is, I don't want to make a trade that'll make us great, and all of a sudden we don't have a good pick, but I think it might be a little late at this point for that. I'm going to swap him out for Jalen Duren. It's always good to have quality bigs. We're going to start Troye, Reeves, Jovic, Ware, and Duran. Obviously, Ware can shoot the three a bit. Off the bench, I got Gobert, Hendricks, Hauser, LeBron, Fillon, and Spoelstra. I'm taking over the coaching, man. You're the best coach in the NBA, in my opinion, but this has been rough in this rebuild. Change the defensive game plan. We're going full physicality, crashing the boards, all that jazz. We're 15-37. I still want us to finish with a horrible record so we can get a good draft pick, but I want to see some potential from this team. I want to see some signs of life, which I'm not seeing a lot of, but there's a few W's now. I mean, we are definitely playing better now post Scotty Barnes than we have been before. All right, Jokic, the MVP, not Jovic. We missed the play-in, which is great for us. Your NBA champion will be the Boston Celtics or Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, there they go. Okay, this is the offseason, boys. This is the time we turn this team around. All right, we ended up with the 7th pick in the draft. You know what? That's fine. That's honestly fine. The Raptors are offering me 2 unprotected picks for the 7th pick in the draft. I don't think that's a horrible starting point, but I kind of want more. This Raptors team has Cooper Flag. How bad are they going to be? They got to give me this year's draft pick too. 2 seconds and I get 3 firsts. All right, I'm going to take it. Honestly, this draft looks kind of shaky. I'm going to see if we can trade out again. I'm going to trade that pick, Taylor Hendricks, who I've been trying to get off of, for a first rounder in Cason Wallace. We're making big changes to the squad this year, boys. Big changes. Bringing back LeBron, Nolan, Kalel. I'm going to trade Austin Reeves and Nikola Jovic for Anunoby and a first round pick. I'm going to try to sign Jared Vanderbilt here in free agency on a little 2-year deal. We got him to come. Okay, so we've retooled, reemerged as a younger team. Duran, Anunoby, Cason Wallace. I feel like we've really reoriented ourselves around defense. Obviously, Cason Wallace and Anunoby, amazing perimeter defenders. Duran good on the inside. I wish we had a little bit more defense coming from Kalel. He's kind of the only remaining guy from the original roster at this point now that we've traded Jovic. We're definitely missing the star power, but we did reload with picks with all of those Raptors picks, which makes our starting lineup Nolan, Cason, Anunoby, Kalel Ware, Jalen Duran. I feel like this is going to be a really, really good defensive team. Offensively, I see a lot of struggles ahead. I see a lot of struggles ahead with this team. On the bench, more defense. We got Vanderbilt, we got Gobert, we got LeBron, Fillon. Now, I do need to figure out who my backup kind of wing is going to be. I still have Sam Hauser. It's probably going to be him just because Harry Thomas here, he's a center. He's kind of the guy who's going to take over Gobert's minutes once Gobert retires for us, leaves the team. So there we go. I imagine we make changes come trade deadline, but right now, I kind of like the team. We're going to go to January 1st, see how the team is rolling. I feel like we should be a decent team. I'm just hoping we're a good defensive team. That's kind of the starting template I'm looking for here. We started 5-0 and we're only 10-7. That's not good. Although looking at the ranking though, we're 3rd in power rank, 3rd in conference rank, but we're only 14-10. So the East might be hella weak this year. So 15-16, we have the #1 defense as I predicted, but wow, our offense is about as bad as our defense is good. We need some points, man. Nolan is shooting the ball terribly on this no spacing team we've kind of built. We just don't have enough scoring, honestly. We really don't. Now, I have a haul of draft picks, man. I got this Raptors pick. I have 3 firsts in 2029. I have ammo now that I didn't have before. We're still 7th in the conference. I'm going to simulate all the way till the end of January and see what kind of players become available. Maybe we can snag a good scorer off a bad team. Maybe this is just a stepping stone year, man. I mean, we are way better than last season. Granted, we're a way different team, but we are better than last season. We improved a little. Now, we are 5th in the conference. What's interesting, though, is we're 5th in the power rankings. I don't really understand how we can be top 5 power rankings, but only be the 5th best. The thing with the East, though, is it's super close. Like, Brooklyn only has 19 losses. We got 22 losses. I mean, these teams are all packed really tightly together. One good move could put us ahead of all these teams. Now, Nolan has not been as good for us as LeBron, so I think there's going to be a lineup change. We're going to move LeBron to the starters, Nolan to the bench, but I do think we need more than that to really kind of push this team ahead. So part of me wants to be patient here because next season I have to only re-sign Kalel Ware and that's it. And I should even have space to bring in a mid-level guy that could help us out. So part of me wants to be patient. I think making the lineup change that we're going to make with switching out our guards for starter versus bench will help. I still feel like there's some sort of like trade that can kind of really get us more scoring juice, but I don't know what it is. I've been looking at trades in this rebuild more than just about any other rebuild, and it's really hard because a lot of these guys who you would think are decent scorers, you know, know, like let's take Jalen Tyson here. He's an 84 overall. He's only averaging 12 points a game. You know, maybe he's not getting a lot of minutes and shots up on that Cavaliers team, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna roll with the team. The team is still good. But I don't know. This is a tough year because this year the East is so weak. This is such a weak East that I feel like if we do all in, we could really put ourselves over the top. I can't find a trade, man. I was thinking maybe I could weird move, but move Zion in for that Khalil Ware spot, but there's no way to make the salaries match without giving up one of our best 3 players or also giving up Vanderbilt. But at that point, we need the depth. But we need offense. This team needs offense badly. All right, you know what? I'm going to roll with the team. I think we have a chance in this Eastern Conference, but it's going to be really tough. It is a tight East. It's wide open. Anyone could win it. We have the second best point differential, even though our record is not that great. So I think maybe there's a chance. Man, we're piling up L's as I say that. I mean, this is a big improvement from last season, though. Overall, this season is a success. We have an identity now. We have a direction, but we don't have offense. Wemby the MVP. Don't expect to see any Miami Heat players out here. We ended up as the 4 seed in the super tight Eastern Conference. We were 45 and 37, basically right next to the Raptors and close to the Magic, close to the Pacers as well, who were playing in this first round. This Pacers squad, they've got Halliburton, Nembhard, Drake Powell, Bobby Portis, and Walker Kessler. Very weird Pacers team. Main adjustment, just get Case and Wallace to guard Halliburton. This is going to be a tough series. Game 1, they take it by 6. Game 2, we take that one. Game 3, we got that one. They took 4. We took 5. We move on in 6. Okay, we got the Brooklyn Nets who went to 7 versus the Hornets, but this is a very tight Eastern Conference. It makes sense. The Nets, they got a lot of guys that they drafted. This is a very young team. It's kind of scary how good this team is, how young this team is. Claxton, Mark Williams, the spacing, hopefully we can take advantage of that. Here we go. Brooklyn Nets. I think this is a toss-up series. We win game 1 by 4. We win game 2 in Brooklyn. We win 3 in Miami. We won. Yeah, that double big, they got no spacing, bro. I told all my bigs, don't even guard them. Don't even guard them. Okay, Orlando Magic. Here we go, man. Here we go. This is going to be a really tough series. My last rebuild was the Magic, and god dang, are they set up for success. Look at that. Banchero, Wagner, Suggs, Edgecombe, and Wiseman. Oh, I don't like the way this looks for us. I'm going to be honest. This is going to be a really tough series. I don't feel great about this series. They beat us in game 1. We take game 2. Good Florida matchup. We take 3. They take 4. I mean, this is a battle of 2 defensive juggernauts. It goes to a game 7. Oh, give more minutes to Jalen Duren. Oh, bet. Here we go, man. Oh, man, this is nerve-wracking. I feel like that Magic team has a lot more talent than us, but the way our roster is set up and the way their roster is set up, you could see this being one of those ugly, low-scoring playoff games. A lot of rebounding, a lot of missed shots, but we won the first quarter by 10, and I feel like a 10-point lead with this type of matchup is big. Who owns Florida? We own Florida, baby. Come on. All right, we won all of the first 3 quarters, and we are really shutting them down, taking advantage of their shooting issues. We're in the NBA Finals. I don't even know who I want to play, man. The Timberwolves are scary. The Spurs are scary. And it ends up being the Timberwolves. All right, here we go. They got Robert Dillingham, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. This is going to be a battle. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, Anthony Edwards, I feel like, is the big difference maker here, but I feel like, you know, we got the coaching edge with Spoelstra, which is me today. All right, here we go. Game 1. We win game 1 by 1 point. Oh my God. Anthony Edwards goes for 46 points on OG Anunoby, bro. That's who we have guarding him, and he goes for 46, but he got no help from his teammates. Jalen Duren, LeBron, Nolan nice. 5 of 14 though, Nolan. You got to shoot a little bit less, my guy. Ugly game in game 1. Game 2. All right, we go up, and you know what? We're the away team, so this is good for us. All right, can we win 3? Yes! Come on! Yes! We have won the NBA championship for the Miami Heat. This was a weird rebuild, man. Got off to a rough start. And I feel like the Heat, you know, they've made the finals 2 times this decade. Obviously, Jimmy Butler was an absolute superstar. The way he played in those finals runs was superstar stuff. Bam's defense was all time in those playoff runs, but definitely teams don't expect it to get there. So it is kind of cool that we did it with a team that if this was, you know, the real world, no one would expect this team to get there. And it was with some of our young guys that we drafted. We drafted LeBron Fallon. We drafted drafted Harry Thomas with 17 in this final game. Wow, LeBron 3 of 19. I mean, we made a team that fights rock fights and we won the rock fights, bro. Miami Heat culture. You love it. If you guys enjoyed this video though, watch right up here to see me rebuilding the Orlando Magic. Did the Florida teams this week. They were a lot of fun. See you in the next one. Peace.